Year that we've held the zine fair. And my name's Lucy Bailey and I'm the support officer for academic engagement at the Bodleian Libraries, and I'm one of the many people who've been involved in organising today's zine fair. So today is about reading, sharing, exploring and making together. You can take part in commemorative poster making, badge making, risograph printing, the creation of a new archive reader and keepsake printing at the back of the room. So feel free to explore the many zines. There's about 21, more than 21 that are here today. And many of them were created or initiated in Oxford, which is really exciting. So thank you all for coming, and thank you so much to all the contributors. So now I'm delighted to introduce Adam Smyth. Adam is Professor of English Literature and the History of the Book at Balliol College, Oxford. Adam's work focuses on the connection between literature and material texts, often reflecting on the way texts are composed, circulated and consumed. Due out in April is his new book, Bookmakers, A History of the Book in 18 Remarkable Lives, which I encourage you all to read. It's a celebration of the printed book, told through the lives of 18 people who took part in it in radical ways. And there's an incredible chapter about DIY publishing and zine-making, placing this in the histories of punk traditions, fluxism and other collaborative contemporary art practices. So thank you so much, Adam.
Wow. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm very pleased that happened. Thank you. And thank you, Lucy. It's very nice to see you all. My name's Adam Smyth, and I teach English and the history of the book here at Oxford. And I'm really pleased to be here to be part of this day of zine making and zine talking and zine thinking. And today, as Lucy said, is a celebration of zines and self-publishing in Oxford and far beyond Oxford too. And we've got here today a brilliant array of zines by makers, and there are lots of opportunities for you to participate in that making culture. You can get involved and make stuff, and that's really great. Whatever your sense of your own expertise or competence, you can get involved. And one of the commitments of today's fair, I think, is that we learn through making. We think better about writing, about text, about reading, about politics, about possibility when we cut and slice and collage and glue and Xerox and bind and distribute. That's sort of a founding principle of this event, I think. And I just very briefly wanted to raise three important aspects of zines and zine culture, three qualities that zines possessed that seem to me important to their history as a form and also to their future, in how they work and in what they can do. So the first attribute, quality, association is collaboration. Zines are naturally collaborative forms, produced so often in the past and in the present by groups and by collectives. And any history of the zine as a form is a history, I think, of working together. Zines have as one origin, as lots of you will know, in the sci-fi fanzines of the 1930s. Wonderful publications like The Comet from Chicago, produced by the Science Correspondence Club. And they gained popularity in the punk scene of the 1970s with DIY, do-it-yourself, photocopied publications like famously Sniffing Glue, Search and Destroy, and from 1982, Maximum Rock and Roll. And the zine boomed as a form in the early 90s with feminist and queer zines, particularly those associated with the Riot Girl movement, such as Bikini Kill, most famously, with an accompanying brilliant band of the same name, started in 1990 by Kathleen Hanna and others. So zines do many things, but one thing they do is represent collectivity. And in doing so, I think, they push back at a model of the single author, of the individual as creative artist, of the singularity of voice. Zines are about people coming together, talking, disputing, making collectively. So that's the first association I wanted to emphasize. The second quality zines possessed is what we might call the politics of form. The politics of form. And by that phrase I mean that the materiality of zines, the physical makeup, what they feel like in our hands, is one of their most distinctive features, and that materiality has a politics, has a political purchase and currency that's really important. Zines are often the products of scissors and glue and stab stitching and Xerox and risograph machines, and we see all that as we read them. They are works usually of collage, of non-linearity. To turn the pages of a zine is to encounter something teeming, not fixed, something alive right now, even if, paradoxically, it was made quite a long time ago. And there is an intimate relationship, I think, between that materiality of the zine, the staples, the Xerox, the aesthetic of disruptive juxtaposition. There's a link between that and the zine's long-standing commitment to political disruption, dissent, inclusivity, and critique. As the scholar of zines Jane Radway has written, the unifying thread of zines is their outside of the mainstream existence, as independently written, produced, and distributed. Riot Girl zines like Discharge or Wrecking Ball define themselves in opposition to a mainstream media dominated by a small number of global conglomerates, a publishing world understood to be exclusionary, repressive, and technocratic. Zines, by contrast, are light, mobile, quick, alert, urgent, present. Zines are anti-ponderous, anti-pompous, anti-slow. And that is why zine today, as we can see at this fair, is a form for the exploration of trans rights, of queer and feminist politics, of black and Sino-diaspora identities. Zines move through the world decisively, passed from hand to hand. That's the second association, the material form and the politics it carries in its materiality. The third, final quality I want to emphasize is process, a sense of these things as being made before us. Zines make the process of their making visible to their readers. We see zines coming into being as we turn the pages. We see the staples and all the stuff that made them. And because of this, zines invite us in. On a fundamental level, this is the message of zines. You can do this too. And this commitment to democratizing rather than mystifying bookmaking is a powerful and central feature of the zine as a form. Zines don't stun readers into silent or baffled consumerism or connoisseurship or a kind of passive admiration. Zines encourage readers to become makers. They are, I think, as a result, inherently generous, inclusive forms of publication. Zines are, and this is the very, very last thing I want to say, nothing if not motley, offering a patchwork of word and image, defying any ordered linear reading, and possessed, in Jane Radway's words again, of a kind of uncontainable, ecstatic generativity. I like that phrase a lot, an ecstatic generativity. And I think and I hope we're going to feel that generativity here today. I hope you have a great day, and thanks very much.